There's always hope. That's the message Elizabeth Smart wants to share with other survivors. She is now an advocate for children's safety and missing persons.
And Smart is speaking this week to a group of Fox Valley educators about the terrifying moments of her own abduction in Salt Lake City in 2002 and overcoming all odds with police rescuing and returning her safely to her family 9 months later. In a First Alert update, she spoke to our Holly Brantley about helping others overcome trauma and her connection to a well-known story of survival here in Wisconsin, the story of Jamie Kloss.
Elizabeth Smart found alive today around 2 o'clock this afternoon in Sandy City.
It was one of the most followed child abduction stories of our time, the disappearance and survival of Elizabeth Smart. Smart was 14 when she was taken from her home in Utah and held prisoner for 9 months, raped, abused, and threatened.
Unfortunately, what happened to me is not uncommon.
Please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Smart.
Monday, Smart shared her story with educators in Appleton, bravely recalling the night Brian David Mitchell took her from her bedroom at knife point. She says never before in her life had she had a true reason to feel afraid until then.
There are so many elements of my story that are so similar and are so common to far too many other people's stories.
Now, 2 decades after her rescue, Smart is married with 3 children of her own, working as an activist for child safety.
I feel like it's almost becoming a world where we're scared to act for fear of what will happen next or how we will then be viewed. But I know personally that I wouldn't be here if people had that same attitude about me.
Smart can also be seen encouraging families and communities to keep hope alive in the midst of stories like hers. That includes the search for Jamie Kloss. The 13-year-old was abducted from her home in Barron, Wisconsin in October of 2018 and held captive until she escaped in January, 88 days later.
I remember hearing about her story and I remember posting it on my Instagram, and then I remember how exciting the day was when I heard that she was found. I mean, it was like a miracle that it happened again.
Smart has publicly shared encouragement for Kloss and other survivors.
I remember coming out to Wisconsin and I was able to meet her and her family, and I was able to see the town where she was from, and it was just so heartwarming to see such a community pulling close together to try to protect her and support her.
She says if Jamie ever reaches out, she'll be there for her.
I have every faith that she will go on to live a spectacular life.
Smart says she wants people to remember she and Jamie are alive because others had the courage to speak up.
First off, pay attention. Keep your eyes open. If you see something that doesn't seem quite right, call the police. I would bet my life that a police officer would much rather go and save a child than hand out a speeding ticket.
She has this message for anyone who's experienced trauma.
Happiness is real and it exists, and sometimes you have to chase it and it's really hard, but it is worth it. Don't give up. You're not alone.
In Appleton, Holly Brantley, Action 2 News.